Alright, so here's what we're doing, guys. We're pulling apart these spot welds so that we can get the front skin off of this fender. When they got this fender off of the car, it was a lot easier. You can see that they cut all the way down through that whole thing. So now we've got to separate this portion off here. I have my personal assistant, Russ Albertson. He is helping me go through and get each individual spot weld. And if you see real close, you can kind of see a little bit of a dent. There's a spot weld right here, and that's what we're getting. We're going to drill all of them out. We want to drill it just enough to get this one side of the metal out, but we don't want to go all the way through the metal, so that we can kind of keep as much of that intact so that we can weld it back together to put it back on there. So we've definitely gotten a lot more of these drilled out, and you can kind of see where there's a little tear. You don't want to drill all the way through, but there's a little bit of a separation, and you can see some of those. You can see where the metal kind of comes through. So rather than trying to go down through the outside right here, what I decided to do was take the inside seam, take this little putty knife, metal of course, and then just pound it through to separate these out. It's actually worked pretty well. So I'm going to continue to get the rest of these spot welds, and then I'll pound that through, get those separated, and then we'll have that piece apart from the rest of it. So let me know when to go.
You're on.
All right, so can you see this? Yeah, so what we're going to do is we're going to hit this from the inside to separate those out. You can see that just clear through. Get this out, and we've got that portion done. We're going to try and get this front portion as well. It looks like somebody had maybe welded something in here before, so it's kind of like doing surgery here. You want to be as careful as possible without really damaging anything. So we've gotten through the majority of all of this. We're having to drill into this little portion right here, just around the front where the grill goes, to get the last little bit of it free. I tell you what, this was a little bit of a bear. I really had to work very hard to not go all the way through and still get it separated. So I'll show you the finished product here in a second. Yep, success. Got this thing all drilled out, got this piece done. A couple of the little hard parts were these little ends. These things got a little bit gummed up. A little bit of a pain. I'll go through and I'll clean a little bit of this up. But after about an hour and a half, we got fender skin all ready to go. So I got that other fender apart, got that so it's just the skin. Now I am pounding all of this, trying to get this apart. Kind of dug out some of that, getting some of this drilled out. While I'm drilling that out, I'm just kind of using a I don't know, I guess like some sort of chisel, and just pulling apart some of these welds. Now I'm not saving this fender. I may use some of the metal off of different parts of it, but for the most part I'm just really trying to worry about the metal in back of it rather than the metal in front. You can tell I'm making some progress. I got it separated out. There is a freaking lot of spot welds that you have to get each one, and it takes a very long time. I'm gonna have to figure out what I'm gonna do for this corner part that's just kind of welded all together, but we'll get there. I'll do another video when we get to a place where we're going to be putting the fenders back on. I think you got a pretty good idea of exactly what it's going to take to get this fender off. It is a real bear, and I will say this, You definitely need to get a drill bit sharpener if you're planning on doing this and doing it correctly, and some sort of chisel, something like that, to get through some of those hard, welds. So anyway, thanks for watching, and we'll do another video where we've got some of the fenders going back on.